Alright everyone, this cycle dropped a new patch called patch 1.3.8 and we're going to go over it real quick. I don't want to get too far into it. They actually posted this on the Reddit page. I'm not really used to actually reading through the Reddit. So I'm just going to go through them. You guys are going to come and go through them with me. So we have some changes here. We have reduced some of the PvP mission requirements, which I think is awesome. The kills required and adjusted missions now require 1 or 2 fewer victims, which is going to be great. A lot of people are going to start progressing a lot faster. I tend to get stuck on those missions sometimes, not all the time. A similar change to PvE, we have tweaked some numbers for mid and late game hunting missions. The Epic Shield reduced Smart Mesh and Hardened Bone Plates requirements from 3 to 2. I think that's going to be a huge change. More people are going to start crafting Epic Shields, along with Laser Drills, which reduce Smart Meshes requirements from 4 to 2. That's actually a really huge change. Smart Mesh is not exactly the hardest thing to find, but it is still pretty rare. After further analyzing our data on PvP encounters, the maximum number of players active on an instance have been reduced by 1 for both maps. So I guess you run into less players. We have tinkered with our matchmaking to protect fresh players better to increase the challenge for good squad players. This adjustment will also slightly adjust the experience for good solo players. So it'll keep those players who aren't really good at the game and who are still beginners with other beginner players and away from all the higher tier stuff. We have given our Marauder a brand new attack. Watch out for his antics. So his third attack, that's very interesting. He already spits and he swipes. So I wonder what this third one's going to be. Players in the tutorial will now wear blue armor instead of green armor. That's very interesting. I don't know, that's not really necessarily needed, but I guess they wanted it to be that way. So they also have some weapon adjustments. The Bulldog increased spread by 30%. So the Bulldog's definitely going to be an up-close gun now. The Advocate reworked the recoil pattern. Horizontal recoil does not go back and forth like a feral animal anymore, so it's going to be easier to use. Core 47 reduced initial vertical recoil. Vertical recoil is more consistent, so easier to use again. The SP shotgun reduced horizontal recoil, and vertical recoil is slightly increased for the second half of the magazine. So it'll be really easy to use at first, and then you got to actually put some control into it. We'll take brute reduced horizontal recoil. The vertical recoil is slightly increased for the second half of the magazine. They also specify that they've been collecting a lot of data for the game, and they say they want players who have high tier gear to more likely to win a fight, but not so much that a great gear has 0 chance even when they're outsmarting their opponent, which I think is actually kind of interesting and actually kind of a hard balance to kind of go for, but they seem to think that it's going great. So I'm just going to trust their data and trust what they're saying. They actually talk about late game weapons and armor, and them making the epic armor slightly easier to craft as well, because they want late game players to actually take top tier gear into raids, but obviously not always. Like, they don't want it to be so easy that like even the low tier players end up crafting late tier gear because it's just easier. We also have some bug fixes to go over. We have fixed an exploit in the final area of the Crusher Caverns, fixed some specific cases where the audio profile of a player did not reset when exiting a cave, fixed an issue where the Crusher projectile would just remain stuck on them after being shot in their weak spot. The pain dishing will resume appropriately, apparently. Fixed an issue with the pathfinding of Striders because they had a hard time finding their way, like, a very hard time. Fixed an issue that would appear when skipping the tech tree upgrades. Fixed an issue where sounds just disappeared, like the cries of a helpless prospector lost in the vacuum of space. Improved server performance and applied a fix for server crashes. Your overall experience should be smoother now. They also fixed the like button, so you guys can also go ahead and like this video if you guys wish. A couple more fixes were applied previously, so just in case you've missed them, players who own the Ronin in the previous version of the game will now have access to their outfit pieces, and people who own the Troublemaker in the previous version of the game will have access to their outfit pieces. Some miscellaneous. After reviewing the data, they have reduced some detection thresholds for their internal anti-cheat measures. Reducing these thresholds means that security gets tightened. Well, that's pretty cool. It's going to be very tight security. Get those cheaters out of here, you know? Known issues. The Biker Queen image shows black hair, though she has white hair. The player quarters upgrade may take longer than expected. This can take up to 24 hours longer than usual. That is insane. We have changed the player support tool in the game already, but it is currently not possible to send us tickets on the website. Very, very, very sadly. At the end here, they also do have some links talking about their cheaters and what they're doing to work on for that. I will go ahead and put that link down below so you guys can check it out. I really want to get back onto the planet, so I guess I'll see you guys on Fortuna 3.